damn loud. Let me turn that. I had the volume button all the way up. I'm sorry. I probably scared you guys. You know what's funny? It's not funny, but it is funny. I have on a sweater today because it's in the 50s. Today is sweater day and it's the end of May, about to be Memorial Day weekend. The weather here, let me pull this up. The weather here in Ohio has been a little bit bipolar. Monday, it was like 90. And then I think it was like 90 or high 80s on Tuesday as well. And then today, all of a sudden, it just dropped. Yeah, it was in the high 80s yesterday, 90s Monday. And then it dropped to the 50s today. And then it's going to go back up into the 70s over the weekend. 70s and low 80s are perfect for me. So, yeah, I guess, winter, honey, trying to hold on. But hi, everybody. Today is Migrant Wednesday. Yes, I am sticking to it. Migrant Wednesday. And of course, I'll talk about other things, but the overall themes on Wednesday when I go live is about the migrant crises. We are still dealing with it because it's a lot of aftermath. Hi, Sylvia. Thank you. We're dealing with a lot of aftermath of the migrant crises of the open borders from the Biden-Harris administration. FYI, yes, I have braids back in my hair, honey, because I'm about to start going to the gym. About to sign up for this program. Okay, no, sir, you in Cincinnati? Yeah, I'm up in Cleveland, but we get the same weather. Yes, it's like, honey, make up your mind. Summer, winter. I don't know, but fall is still my perfect favorite season. So yeah, I'm back with the braids, honey, the hobo braids, and I got it done yesterday, right? But I didn't have her put it up in a ponytail for me because when you get it, it's like freshly, it's kind of tight. You got to let it sit. So I'm gonna go back to her to have her put it up in a bun because she does it better. It's like more perfect. Like I did the bun myself today. It's okay. It's cute. It'll do, but I need for it to be perfect. And that way I can leave it like that, for the month. But honey, braids all summer and most likely even going into the winter, but all braids, honey, because mama gonna be working out, getting in tip top shape. Honey, I have to look cute for my birthday this year because I'm turning 50. Yes. I gotta start wearing makeup, all that good stuff. Oh, I might say, who was this outside? So P Ray, girl, where you at? Because I was bringing her up first. I ain't trying to be live all afternoon. And I do have a story. And I'm contemplating if I was going to tell the story or not. Well, I almost got arrested on Monday. So I was going to tell that story like at the end of the stream, or I may pre-record it. But I almost got arrested, honey. But I'll talk about that later. Maybe I'll talk about it now. Should I talk about how I almost got arrested on Monday? At Whole Foods, where I shop at on a regular. Like people didn't know my face, I know them. But I had to deal with a PETA Karen / Ken, because I don't know if it was a man or a woman calling a popo on me. But bitch, I did not get arrested. I did not get a ticket. Sorry. And the police officers were very nice. They were very discreet. Sorry. Should I tell that story first before I bring in P Ray? Because P Ray is coming up. We got to talk about the migrant crisis in Chicago, the residue of the migrant crises. Because now we're dealing with the residue. Yes, Trump is still doing the deportation. Tom Homan is still on his job. Don't play with him. And then I want to talk about the Dr. Candace Matthews, honey, in Houston. And what is his name? Cornell X. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. But they put boots to the ground and they get shit done. They're not playing. They're not playing with the slumlords. They're not playing with people who want to be a racist and bigots of any backgrounds, not just white people, anybody. They are not playing. Your stories take too long. I don't ever tell stories. How you know my stories take too long? I don't ever tell stories. You mean the judge's story takes too long? So yeah, they're handling business in Texas, and I'm just like, listen, people in Texas don't play at all, and we need more activists like Cornell X and Dr. Candace Matthews. And like I said, I'm probably mispronouncing his name wrong, but you know, it is what it is. I'll get it right if it's wrong. But yeah, and then of course Chicago, because listen, Chicago is still dealing with high crime. They have an increase in HIV because of the illegal migrants. And this increase is mainly happening in the Hispanic section of Chicago. Because a lot of people that came over that border were already positive or didn't know. So, you know, when they bust them all to Chicago, and Chicago is a sanctuary city, so they open it up with open arms, they were getting free health care. So they were getting tested for everything. And so a lot of them came back, yeah, you tested positive for HIV, but it was an increase. It's an increase in crime. So we are dealing with the after effects of the migrant crisis. And I love bringing P. Ray on because she has all of the facts and the information and the details of what is going on in Chicago. First of all, the judge is in his skin. Remember that? He in his skin. He is minding his business. You guys will see him tomorrow. Today is my day. You are with me today, United Citizen Party. Today is my day. Dana with the data day. Hi, Leon. And the DOJ, maybe I should have put that as a title, but I'm actually going to talk about that with the judge tomorrow. Ooh. Should I have put the Cuba, Raul Castro, the DOJ now is bringing charges on Raul Castro. Actually, let me bring that up because I do have a problem with that. That man is 94 years old. So that's the United States having a legal excuse to go into Cuba and arrest. Let's see this here. So yeah, well, we could touch on this right now. It's too many commercials. So guys, please share this video, like this video. What is this? All right, let me share this. Let's see here.
Attack, or they're going to create a.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here in the great state of Florida. Today, we are announcing an indictment charging Raul Castro and several others with conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals. Mr. Castro and the others are charged with additional crimes as well, including destruction of aircraft and 4 individual counts of murder. The indictment was returned by a grand jury sitting in this district in Miami on April 23rd, 2026, and was unsealed today. For nearly 30 years, the families of 4 murdered Americans have waited for justice. On February, this is a story all too familiar. On February 24th, 1996, 2 civilian aircraft operated by Brothers to the Rescue were shot down over international waters by military aircraft from Cuba. 4 men were killed: Carlos Costa, Armando Alejandre Jr., Mario de la Peña, and Pablo Morales. They were unarmed civilians and were flying humanitarian missions for the rescue and protection of people fleeing oppression across the Florida Straits. As alleged in the indictment, Raul Castro and 5 co-defendants participated in a conspiracy that ended with Cuban military aircraft firing missiles at those civilian planes and killing 4 Americans. Those are the allegations returned by a federal grand jury. My message today is clear. The United States and President Trump does not and will not forget its citizens. I want to say that we also do not forget the families, the loved ones, and the friends who have carried grief and heartache for 30 years. For the first time in nearly 70 years, senior leadership of the Cuban regime has been charged in this country, in the United States of America, for acts of violence resulting in the deaths of American citizens. Nations and their leaders cannot be permitted to target Americans, kill them, and not face accountability. President Trump is committed to restoring a very simple but important principle. If you kill Americans, we will pursue you, no matter who you are, no matter what title you hold, and in this case, no matter how much time has passed. I want to thank, and everybody in this room should thank, the FBI, the prosecutors, and the agents who worked on this matter. It includes the intelligence community and our federal and state law enforcement partners. They did the work here, so thank you. There's a reason why myself and the senator and other leadership are here and not in Washington, D.C. to announce this indictment. The community here, you all, understands the history of the Cuban regime better than any.
Are you Marcia?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Over the past week and past months, every one of them heartbreaking. They know that the pain caused by the regime did not stop at the island's shores. And today's indictment, while it does not bring back the murdered victims, it makes a statement. The United States government has not forgotten these innocent men who were shot out of the sky. And as in every criminal case, the defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty by a jury of their peers. But today, the Department of Justice has taken an important step and brought this indictment. I'm proud to stand here on this podium with U.S. Attorney Jason Redding Quinones to my right, Chris Rea, Deputy Director of the FBI.
So here's the thing. United States want Cuba. Uh, Cuba is probably the only country that went up against the United States military and won. Oh, the United States government never forgot that. Now, when Obama was president, he actually um lowered and relaxed some of the regulations of the United States citizens visiting Cuba. He also allowed our airlines to start flying directly from anywhere in the United States into Cuba. And that boosts their economy via tourism. It boosts the airlines bottom line. So it gave everybody money across the board. Well, all of a sudden now, under the Trump administration, they're bringing charges against President Raul Castro, Fidel Castro brother, who is he's 94 years old. He's probably not even fully running a country anymore. They're trying to paint this man as if he's some horrible dictator, communist leader. Cuba is a socialist country. Cuba has been in economic despair for decades. But what makes Cuba so special and a beautiful country is the people, right? Trump wants Trump hotel. He wants a Trump golf course in Cuba. He wants to make sure his wealthy friends are going to profit and benefit off the island of Cuba. It's a beautiful island. If America takes over Cuba, and by the end of the summer, I believe that the United States will eventually overthrow the Cuban government. The people in Cuba will start making money because I'm pretty sure then the Trump administration is going to allow us American citizens to just travel freely in and out of Cuba, right? And we're going to be the first ones to go because it's 90 minutes from Miami. Hop, skip, and a jump. And it's affordable because you could go to a Caribbean island where the food is good, the people are wonderful, beaches are clear, or whatever. It's a beautiful island. It is. And the capitalist people are going to make billions of dollars, right? It's about money at the end of the day. These charges, honestly, they're Trump charges. But our government cannot just go into a country without a reason to take over their country or to topple down their leadership. You need to have a legal reason. And this is what the DOJ is displaying. They're displaying, we're going to bring charges against Raul because they shot down and killed some of our military soldiers or American citizens. If you are in their international waterways, that is illegal. They have a right to do it. So, you mean to tell me Trump is the only president that could find something wrong that Raul Castro, the president of Cuba, Raul Castro did in order for the Trump administration to bring charges? No. He took out the president of Venezuela. Venezuela was supporting Cuba via the oil. He is right now economically crippling Cuba, Trump. And now he wants to go in and take over because he wants to be the president to say that I toppled Cuba. Not only did I end the embargo, we control Cuba, so there's no more embargo. We control the import and exports. We control all of their wonderful resources. And we control who gets to do business in Cuba. Will Cuba then turn back going back to the Baptista ages? I hope not, because it was worse. Fidel Castro was a better leader than President Baptista. The mafia and all these organized crimes from the United States were doing a whole bunch of illegal business in Cuba because it was legal in Cuba. Prostitution was high, crime was high, illiteracy was high, discrimination and disenfranchisement of the Afro-Cubans were very much in effect. Are you going to go back to those times? Who knows? But I'm telling you this, by the end of the summer, United States will have taking out Raul Castro and taking control of Cuba. Nick Shirley going to Cuba, half of that was BS because I've been to Cuba. And I can assure you, half of what Nick Shirley was reporting was BS. The other half, it was truth to it. But I'll do that in another video. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah. Cuba is next to topple. And we are seeing it in real time. And let me bring P Ray in. Hey, P Ray.
Hey, Dana.
How are you? You look
I
good.
am wonderful. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. You look good too.
Thanks. Honey, I got the braids for the summer.
It's coming. I just have to get some time. You know, braids take a long time. So I have to carve out, like, all that time to sit there. So I'm
Yeah.
getting some braids too. How you
Right.
feeling? Oh, I saw this girl in traffic the other day, and we just started talking to each other. This is Chicago, so I was eating these fries, and she's like, "Can I have some?" And I'm like, "Have some." And so we laughed, and I'm like, "Who did your hair?" She's like, "I did my own hair." And she's these small braids. I'm like, "How much do you want for those?" She's like, $120. So I'm gonna go see her.
Yeah, that's good. What's
Yes,
your deal?
God bless Black Chicago.
Oh,
How
yeah.
you doing?
Good. So let's talking about Black Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago and the residue of the migrant crisis because during the Biden administration, Chicago, you guys were hit hard with the illegal migrants just invading the city because it is a sanctuary city. Tell us some of the after effects that you guys are dealing with now. And I know you had a story that you wanted to get out there as well. So go ahead.
Okay, so right now the migrant crisis is still in full effect, but shout out to President Trump because he's been cutting off resources that were funding them. Shout out to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Scott Turner. He came out and stated that they are now doing this full audit of all public housing. The city of Chicago is now pushing these two stories, which I think are kind of interesting. The first one is they have a story about how the Trump administration and waiting lists in Chicago are making people wait a long time for apartments. And the picture that they used on that, Dana, was of a Hispanic woman. Now, we know that Hispanics use public housing too, but the overwhelming majority of people waiting for housing are Black people who have been waiting since 2000. They then put out a subsequent story talking about how the federal government cut off the homelessness funds and they used the Black woman's face. And they said that people like her cannot get emergency vouchers. Dana, the gag is they were giving the emergency vouchers to the illegals. That's why they got cut off. That's what we told them. Brandon Johnson mixed the homeless Americans and the homeless illegals together and then start paying everybody out the same fund. No, 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 that's not how that goes. So we got some rectification around that. We're just waiting for CHA to comply with the audit so that the money can flow again. So again, shout out to the feds. On a different level, on a health issue, right now there's a surge of HIV in the city of Chicago. Okay, they are stating that this came up here with our people who were sent up here. I mean, this is wild to say that there is a surge of HIV and AIDS, especially in the Hispanic community that's located on the west side of Chicago, puts us all at a health risk. We're also dealing with the fact that the hospitals are now closing. The reason that the hospitals are closing is because the state sent out all this money to pay for the illegals and whoever else wants to come to Chicago, and the money is drying up. Right now in the Austin community where I live, America's largest Black American community, we don't have any hospitals. West Suburban closed. El Laredo Hospital is not functioning as a traditional hospital anymore. This is why I was talking so much about the Medicaid. Well, they sucked up all the money and now we have to figure it out here on the west side of Chicago. So that's something that we're also working on to change some of the funding mechanisms on the congressional level so that it can trickle down on the ground. Because remember, I was talking about this before and now it's really happening. So other than that, we're here. I am running for the school board. Shout out to the Chicago Public Schools School Board. Yes, we are outside giving signatures again. This is what I do, America, world. I have a master's degree in education. I have a finance degree, a bachelor's degree. All they talk about is the budget and the curriculum. So we are very serious about getting into these schools and handling the business. A lot of times on social media, people talk a lot of junk about the city of Chicago and our schools. And I'm like, focus on where you're at. Everybody remember, Michael Jordan is a Chicago Public Schools parent. Michael Jordan, that one. He sent 2 of his children to the Chicago Public Schools. So they're not just failing institutions. We're going to focus on what's good and make the worst better. That's it. It's the same system, the same children, the same city. We can do better, but we got to get past the soft bigotry of low expectations and get all of this hypersexuality out of the classroom. The Black people on the west side of Chicago are not for that at all. I'm outside talking to people when I tell them about the sexual stuff. They're like, get rid of that. That's what you need to start with. Focus on that first, because somebody's not speaking for us. So we need someone who can go and do that. And that person is me. So here we are, Dana, once again, back in the loop. I love this city. I love this town. I love the people who are here. And I just think that we can't just sit back and just let them do what they want to do all the time.
Well, I want to play this clip here and have us talk about it. And then you could tell us about the GoFundMe that you have as well. Let's see.
Reverend, and we won't interrupt anyone.
Yes. Well, praise the Lord. I want to just say that I honor the Lord, and I do honor this council. I honor everybody that has a voice, respectively, that I've had the opportunity to speak, because all voices matter, whether you like that voice or not. One of the things I want to say is that Martin Luther King, he was viewed as a leader that some people didn't like, because instead of dealing with issues behind closed doors and really issues that a lot of people wanted to be quiet, he was very vocal, and he brought things to the light. I want to say that when people have issues, the only how you're going to sometimes get your issues heard, sometimes everything is not meant to be quiet, because sometimes when you're quiet, nobody hears you until you begin to speak. I want to say today, I'm Pastor Sandy A. Norman. I come down here a lot. I'm on the Cook County side. I'm on the City Hall side. And I want to say I'm an advocate, of course, for CVI, violence prevention. I'm going to keep it at the forefront. We had a tragedy. I see deaths every day. I'm in the communities where young men die. Some young men that I deal with on the street, I can see them one day, and the next day I may not see them. And so I'm very serious about what I do. I have a son that was also a victim of gun violence. I don't get paid by anyone. I'm not a part of a system. But I want to continue to bring to awareness some of the things that I see. And I'm not here to say that every program is wrong. So let me just say that, because a lot of times when Black people, when we voice our concerns, and if it does not agree with what people in seats want, we're viewed as the enemy. But somebody have to really speak up. That's the only how you're going to see change. In the city of Chicago, as I keep reiterating, sometimes I'm on the street 24 hours in durations. I turn in guns, not from a gun turn in, but because young men surrender their weapons to me, because that is the real power of God, and they know that I care. I came here, to seek assistance, yes, for funding, after funding my own self for 8 years. So let me be clear. I don't come here for a handout. I really care about the things that happen in our city. I was in a meeting last night
30 seconds.
with young men, and I'm going to start bringing them down here so they can come and talk to you all. A lot of these programs, when we talk about funding being cut, I can't stick up and say that the funding should not be cut, because when I see some of the abuse that we have with these programs, it's ridiculous. Young men are in reentry programs, and what a lot of these programs do, they wait for you all to come and do a visit, and they clean up, and then once you're gone, it's back to normal. That is not right. And as a pastor, a real pastor, I just can't be silent and not come and speak out about these CVI programs that get all of this money. I cannot name 10 pastors in the city of Chicago, and some of y'all go to churches. Who can you really say that you ever see active on the street, going on those corners, helping those young men? If you're a pastor, evangelism is what you're supposed to do. You don't do that just because you create a
DJ Ferris.
Somebody put something like that. Okay. So what is CVI? What is she really? She speaks.
Community violence interrupters. Community violence interrupters were created, I believe, by Arnie Duncan. It's a social service economy that I keep talking about that's funded through the Democrats and their funders, different type of organizations. And what their intentions are is to send people on the very grassroots level into the community, pay them to go prevent violence. Now, a couple of things that she said, I try to remember as she was saying it. Number one, she says she's coming down there for funding, okay? But she's not a part of the system. She wants to be a part of the system. She wants money, just like these programs are getting the money. And I think that if she's doing the work, she absolutely should be able to participate in that economy via grants and appropriations and set asides, however that economy works. But I actively speak against it because it keeps Black people trapped to the Democratic Party, or trapped in a Democratic Party, tethered to them, because the Democratic Party controls all of that money, Dana, all of it. Now, what happens is you have the leaders within that economy who then go out and parrot these Democrat talking points to the people who are following them and getting these stipends that come out of this big pot of money. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, when we talk about gun buybacks or gun people giving their guns, I carry a gun in the city of Chicago. Her name is Penelope. Okay, I'm not saying that to sound tough, but what I'm saying is, as someone who carries a gun in the city of Chicago, I always struggle when they say that people are turning in guns or giving guns back, because I'm like, number one, there are one of two things happening. One, I'm an armed person. I give you my gun and now I'm unarmed. What did I gain from that? Are you going to be able to protect me from the threat that I'm carrying this gun to be against? Or number two, a crime has been committed with this gun. And so now it's easy for me to swipe this gun out however it needs to go, and then I could just go get another gun to continue what I'm doing. Dana, they found the guns from the buybacks or givebacks. They found those guns recirculating in the city before. So I'm not saying she's doing this, but I'm saying this is how this goes in the city of Chicago, and all of that is under this CVI umbrella.
What part does the illegal migrants play? Because the guns coming in Chicago is a direct pathway coming from Mexico, correct? And
So
travel.
some of the guns are coming from Mexico, like the Fast and Furious guns under Obama. I am positive that those guns came back up here to Chicago with all that money and drugs that they were sending from Mexico. So that's a possibility. However, they say that the majority of the guns are coming from neighboring states, because it's easy to get guns from those states. Like Missouri, you could just go buy a gun, or Indiana, they don't have the same type of waiting periods. So they're coming from all over. Everybody sends whatever their undesirable product is to Chicago. Do you know, Dana, that in Puerto Rico, they export their drug addicts to Chicago? Like, give them a one-way ticket to Chicago. Yes, yes. And then you can see like camps of people living in Puerto Rican areas like Humboldt Park, which is a huge sprawling park. They have tent camps out there where people are living in tents because they didn't got a one-way ticket to Chicago. So it's crazy. But all of this feeds into this social service economy, because now those people need services. Now those people need rehabs. The guys on the street, they're going to need a jobs program. They're going to need workforce development, and all these people getting paid. And look at what we got. This has been going on for years. This is like $1 billion industry. And the only way that we prevent this or move ourselves out of this is to bring back industry, bring back the factories. Those guys should not need a CVI job if we got all this stuff got to be built. If the president said he's bringing back these companies, they put them on the factory line, and that way they can make some real money and get out of this system where people are saying, I can do the work, they're not doing the work, give me the money instead. And then I go and I do my part. But again, it's all recycling the money through the same system.
Now, do you see an increase, of course, in violence and in the guns being on the streets because of the illegal migrants? Because these guns are coming up from South America, Mexico, straight into Chicago. And so if there's more illegals, and a lot of them were criminals, then you're going to see more increase of having a gun problem. And so this
Right.
money, the CVI, fund, or if it's really a grant, um, mm, was it because was it really being funded because of the migrants,
No,
or
no, no. This has been an economy in Chicago for years. All type of organizations, anti-violence organizations. What happens is you have these older guys from the hood, who may have grown up and evolved their lives or got out of jail or what have you. They're looking for employment. So these organizations get money from the state, the city, the county, and private organizations. And then they have anti-violence campaigns. So that can mean you throw in barbecues. That can mean that I know one guy in Inglewood, he has a basketball, what do you call those things where they're all together? A basketball league. I don't know where my word was, but he has a basketball league. However, you can fit your plan into the anti-violence plan, it works. Okay, when it does work at its best, it is the best. However, because there are so many people looking for these jobs, because they essentially offer a life of leisure, you hanging out, you with your guys, y'all talking to the little guys, y'all do a little event here, there, you have meetings. But the back end of it is that politician that help you get that money. Now you got to show up for all their stuff. So if they have a press conference, y'all got to go stand there and hold the sign. If they have something going on, you got to go there and pass out stuff. So it creates this social-based patronage system where the Democrats are giving jobs to these non-for-profits in order for these men to have a work program. That's the main issue, Dana, right there, that we don't have jobs. So then the government creates this fake system that, that is not supporting the people. If they had real jobs, it wouldn't be so much violence. But to the South American point, every gun they got is illegal, Dana. Every single gun they have in their possession is illegal, and they have guns. They have drugs. They have everything that they want to have because they're working with the people who are importing it here, which is why I've been very vocal, very, very vocal since you've known me about the fact that we got to lock up this border and get these people out of here. We don't know who's here. It's about to get hot again. They're bringing up bad drugs. Last week, Dana, I saw 3 overdoses in 24 hours. 3.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's
Yeah.
a problem. They're bringing that here. Them. And I just don't know how much more vocal I can be about this. Now, yes, there's an issue with the tax money, which I've been also very vocal about since the beginning as well. But now we're starting to see the tangible results of this policy failure. And again, the president is like, let me come help y'all. And JB's acting up. Now he's fighting against Brandon in the media. Brandon, I can't say I feel sorry for him, but he has my sympathy because now he is in the discard phase of their relationship. He let these wealthy people get him and his whole cadre of people on these puppet strings to push their agenda. And now that he's no longer useful, they're discarding him and cutting him off. The governor said that Brandon doesn't work hard enough to keep the Bears here or something like that, just essentially throwing the man under the bus, and he keeps doing it. So now it's over. It's over. And I don't know what the future's going to be, but I know that we're going to vote red instead.
Mm. I have another video, and do you want to talk about the GoFundMe now or after I play this
I can talk about the GoFundMe now.
Okay.
So I have a friend who is my personal guard. His name is Donald Woodruff. Donald Woodruff served decades in the Illinois Department of Corrections. He served his sentence. He got out. Once he got out, he moved into a facility, again, within this social service economy that acts as a landing space for people who are getting out of prison. So he's living there, but this space is near downtown, near the United Center. They were within the bubble for the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. Don is a diehard Trump fan. He wears his hat. He makes his videos. He tells people about your show, what you're talking about, how we need to move to the right, how these Democrats have failed us, what his experience in prison has been, how he see the difference from when he went in the 70s and came out in 2020. Imagine you go to jail in 1975, 76 and get out in 2019. Like, whoa, but he's doing these things and he's explaining it to the people. They did not like his right-wing message. So the administration of this facility told the property manager to find a reason to violate his lease. And so when I heard about this, I went to speak with the people, and they said basically, essentially, he didn't have a lease and that he was talking bad to people there. Again, this is a facility full of men who are just transitioned. So, it's a lot of tough talk up there. When I said this to them, they said he doesn't have a lease. He can't stay. So I went down to the Chicago Housing Authority because they're the ones who fund this. And I asked them for all of the paperwork associated with him and this facility. Not only did he have a lease, but this facility was getting paid for him to stay there. Okay. However, when they went to court for this, his free attorney did not show up. And so they were able to argue that he didn't have a lease, he didn't have whatever. He didn't have the evidence because he's waiting on this person, and essentially they evicted him. Now, I asked them if this was political, and they said it was based on his behavior. However, I said the property manager has given me a statement that said you all told them to find a reason to terminate his lease, and he personally did his lease before he left this position. So this man has no reason to lie. So we have a GoFundMe to help him out as he transitions into this new space. He's working every single day. When I say working, doing his thing, very, just catching his vibe. And I don't think that because you are a Trump supporter or a Republican in the city of Chicago, that should render you homeless. Like for me, I'm still in this insurance house, Dana, after a year, because the city of Chicago wanted to play with my permits because I support President Trump. If I didn't have the support I had, I would be outdoors. So I'm just asking you all to please stand with Don, help us out on this GoFundMe. Dana's going to pop it into the bio.
I'm gonna put it in the description. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in my post section. And and I'll promote it. And definitely we'll talk behind the scenes, maybe have him come on the show and stuff like that. So, we're gonna continue to promote and push his GoFundMe, and so people could donate and support, because that's what we should do as Americans, support each other, especially when people trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, just expressing his patriotic view. That's it. And it's crazy just the things that you see and you hear. Even when I just went there to ask a question, the guy was very aggressive with me. I told him, "Whoa, brother, I don't live here. I'm just trying to ask you. You can't talk to me like that." So I know the space. Again, I'm not diminishing the work of that institution, because if they were not present, those men would have nowhere to go. However, we do need to make sure that they are not discriminating against how people want to exercise their politics, and that they don't weaponize their institutional power to make people homeless. That's the whole thing, because they lied. I went to CHA. I got the paperwork. So I don't understand how it even escalated to this point, and we'll take care of that on the back end. But in the meantime, in between time, please help us out.
So I'm going to play this video here and have us talk about it before I'll let you go. Let's see.
The reality is this: Black people's voting is not in danger, and you know it's not. And you know it's not. I'm 63 years old. I've been voting since I was 18. I have never had a problem voting. Now, that may apply to my mother and father. It applies to my grandparents. Surely it does. And in fact, because it does, every single person in this room, including that Jewish lady that just got up and talked, need to really be thanking us. Really need to be thanking us for getting y'all the right to vote, for getting y'all the right to be here, instead of sitting up here manipulating the Voting Rights Act like something's getting ready to happen to our right to vote, when you know that's not true. So now you all gonna drag Black people in here, definitely some senior citizens, and gonna have them come up here and talk about how they scared to vote, how this messed up their right to vote, women need to vote, all that junk, when you know it's not true. Just like you sit up here and make like Black people can't get IDs. Us requiring IDs to vote, it's gonna stop Black people from voting. Why Black people ain't got IDs? See, you all get more and more ridiculous. But you can't, in this room full of these black people, talk about that federal case that just got filed Monday that's talking about how you all are stealing property at Cook County sales. Where the black people in here? Raise your hand that if they told you to come in here to talk about how your property got stolen. Where you at? Huh? Because we got commissioners in here that know for a fact it's happening. Catskill, you know it's happening. Lori, you know it's happening. Michael Scott, you know it's happening. Lamont Williams, come on, you give up cases for the county. You know it's happening. Donna Miller, you know what's happening. Well, come on, y'all black people that they done sent here with these 501c3s, that they got y'all in here talking for them. Why y'all ain't in here talking about how they stealing our property?
1 minute.
Where y'all at? Come on, because y'all getting ready to come up here to this mic and lie for the cameras to say that black people's voting is done by this Louisiana thing and Donald Trump and the Trump administration, when Donald Trump is in front of the Supreme Court right now fighting for the 14th Amendment, saying that black people, that amendment was for black people.
30 seconds.
Not for birthrights, not for people to anchor themselves over here illegally. And they got y'all black people in here getting ready to talk against him. I mean, y'all real sick up in the head. You sick in the head and more sicker in your spirit. This is insane.
Time is.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You got a popping now, but I can hear you.
Testing. All right, do me a favor, P. Ray. Go out and come back in. Can you guys hear me? My dog, he's under my desk. And he was stepping on some of the wires. Stop it. That's the mailman. Every time he hear the mailman putting mail in the mail thing and closes it, he goes crazy. But my dog was under my. It's not me. I think that's you. All right, now she's frozen. Let's see. Remove guest. I have okay. So you guys can hear me. There's no popping, but he messed up my he pulled the plug out because he's under my desk and got caught up with the audio plug. And then I noticed ever since that happened, it probably messed up P Ray's audio. And by the way, I think I'm gonna end up okay, thank you. I think I'm gonna end up I am gonna be switching streaming services. Come back in. Let's see. And I want to say shout out to Miss Jessica because it's been a few times she had got up there in front of the city council in Chicago and, let them have it. And one thing about the people in Chicago, they're going to show up to these city council meetings, mayor meetings, and show out and expose what these people are not doing, the people who are in office. And she's right. I agree with everything she said. And this clip is going viral because, we dealing with the Supreme Court revising Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And you have the Democrats that are out here losing their minds. They're losing their minds because they're losing power. And then they're saying, oh, you're going to disenfranchise Black Americans. No, we're not being disenfranchised. But your blue districts, particularly in the South, is almost non-existent. It's being carved out, and the Republicans are picking up more congressional seats. So their powers are being limited, specifically in the South, and that's why they are upset. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
I don't know. My dog was messing with my wires, and I noticed that's when kind of things went awry. So, yeah. So, all right. So did you want to comment what she was saying? Because of course the voting ID and Black Democrats are going crazy.
It's funny. Everybody in Chicago is talking about this, and they're like, hey, your man, your Donnie trying to take away our voting rights. This Chicago people, This is the most gentrified city, gerrymandered city in America, gerrymandered state in America. You want to see some gerrymandering? Look at Illinois. This is what they do. This is what we know. And I think that if we as a people just educate our people on what gerrymandering is, that would cut out a lot of this confusion. Because what they think is that they're about to bring back literacy tests and make you guess the number of balls in a jar. No, but it shows the racism of the Democratic Party and these liberals, that they are so free and open to use our trauma to trick us. That's, again, like I get to the core of it. Those old people are not going to change their position. Actually, they feel mocked now. So, you got to be careful as you are having these conversations with people. But, excuse me, we don't want to mock the people for not knowing. But we can't allow this thought to be pervasive either. No, like we telling people, go vote. What are you all fighting against? The immigrant class. That's what all of this is about, protecting them, carving out districts for them. All of this stuff was meant for Black people, but it got messed up when other folks started to say, well, I want to carve out a district just for us and us. No, that's not what this is for. We have to stand on our history, and as the Republican Party, as a voting delegate within the RNC, we got to do a better job at educating people about the successes of what we've done and how we've done it. Oh, today is Emancipation Day in Florida. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in Florida who are celebrating Emancipation Day. The RNC should be all in front of this. They should be hosting emancipation parades all across the country, saying this is what the Republican Party has done to stamp out the Confederacy and make sure that everybody's counted as a citizen. Simple. But you got this faction of people who, whenever you want to say things about Black American Negro people, they're like, whoa, I don't want to. No, it was never about you, honey. It was always about us. It was always about us. We are the star of this story. So I'm going to work hard within the RNC to really push that, not as a racial thing, but as an American ethnic pride thing. To be pro-Negro is to be pro-American. That's what a Republican is, literally. So we're just going to push it. Like I said, I always look at the positive, Dana. Look at what the best is and make the worst better. Stop saying what the worst is, because we already know. We already know. And even with those people who are going to come up there and talk about the voting stuff, they're talking about it on the radio. They're talking about it on MSNBC. They got all these podcasters out there. So we have to push that counter message better. And you got to put sugar on it so people are more open to hear it.
Thank you, P. Ray.
You're welcome, Miss Dana. Thank you for having me. I love coming. Love. So
Yes. I'm gonna hit you up behind the scenes so we could set it up to have that gentleman come on the show.
Yeah. Oh, that would make his day. Dana, do you know there's more Black people on the west side of Chicago who know me from Dana than with Fox News? Yes.
I'm gonna come out there to Chicago this summer. I have to make business to come.
If you came here, did a meet and greet, girl, you will see. People be
I
like,
know,
you
right?
came right from Dana? I'm like, yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'll plan that. My first little meet and greet, something small and intimate. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, all right, I'm gonna give you a call. Thank you, P. Ray. Appreciate you coming on.
See you in a little while.
All right. Love her. Love P. Ray. Yeah, and she listen. Oh, P. Ray is my go-to person for what's going on in Chicago, what's going on when we're talking about the Democrat Party and a Republican. She born and raised in politics. So, she knows what she's talking about. She talks to both sides because you have to. Yes, there are people who don't like her and there are a lot of people who love her, and that's fine. But, at least she's being active in politics. And that's what I'm saying. I do want to always give love and a shout out to Chicago, because Chicago people come out. Black, the white, the Hispanics, but mainly, the Black Chicagoans, they're going to come out and they're going to speak out and fight for change and push back on some things and then show people a lot of love. So, yeah, shout out to Chicago. I am definitely going to make it my business, most likely in August, to come out there, because I've been supposed to come out there in Chicago. So you guys will see me. Now, I want to go into this. Dr. Candace Matthews. I love her. I love what they're doing. She puts boots to the ground. She don't play. It says here, Dr. Matthews is a national minister of politics of the new Black Panther Nation. In this role, Dr. Matthews stays on the front line fighting for civil and human rights, for the liberation of Black people, also tackling injustices and continuing to fight to end police brutality and the murder of Black people. Dr. Matthews also advises and directs the functions of the new Black Panther Nation and supervises the implementations of the political program under the leadership of National Chairman Cornell X. Also coordinates local, state, and national government preparation and consideration of matters to be dedicated for the best interests of people of color. And she means it. She stands on it, right? So I want to play this clip here because this is the clip. This is the video that went viral. Let's see, get rid of this. Here we go.
Mr. Nigga right here. Yeah, that's your ass.
So you don't want like saying the N-word, right?
Call people niggas.
You gonna call it N-word today?
Call
I bet you won't call it in front of a black man like that.
I bet you won't call
in
me
fact,
no nigga.
let me help you. You call a black woman N-word, call me that.
No, call me that.
I dare you to do it. I swear for God, I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too.
You a coward. Call that black woman the N-word. You a real coward,
Why
man.
would you
We'll
do
catch you
that?
inside.
Now, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you wouldn't do it in front of me.
Come on.
I know. In fact, I know you won't. Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on. Go on in there.
And I'll give you a taste everything for the ancestors.
Down
Say
there.
it. Say it in front of me. I dare you to say it. It's Cornell X, but you'll learn it real well today.
Yeah.
Say it. I bet you won't say N-word in my face. See, you talk to black women like that by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You intimidate black women by themselves. But a black man, you won't open your goddamn mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you to say it.
Mm-hmm. That hearing aid.
I dare you to say it.
With that hearing aid in your ear, shit. Get your old ass in there. Run around here with your bald head ass, you old spike little face looking bitch. But I ain't playing with you.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Broadway, look here, tell Judge Bradshaw we're not bringing it into that courtroom, okay? All right.
Are we gonna hold anything?
No, let's go into that.
Can we go in?
Yeah, I'm counting.
So this is what I want to share as well. Let's see, share this. So this here, that man, he's the lawyer. That white guy is a lawyer. And when he was in court, he kept referring to a black woman, the N-word, with the ER, with the ER. And this is Dr. Candace Matthews' Instagram, and she says, here's the evidence of the court transcript with attorney Michael Phillips' old tale. This is why he got that Texas smoke, right? So the white guy, he's an attorney Michael Phillips. And this is the transcripts where he goes and says, and this is in front of a judge, feels good saying it. And this is Mr. Phillips. One nigger comment after another nigger. Miss DeRonan says feels good. Mr. Phillips says it again. She says feels good. We've got a simple text that's sent. Feels good, huh? I can get in. Feels good. I can say nigger for you too. Nigger, 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 nigger. He kept saying it. Nigger, 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 nigger. I mean, and then the court says, really? And then the Mr. Phillips, the attorney, says, I mean, goodness gracious, we have a little thing. And then the woman says, can I have a moment? Can I have a moment? The black woman exit the courtroom. And then the court says, all right, stop. And then the white attorney, Mr. Phillips, says it is a comment about nigger hair. The court says if you say that word one more time, I'm going to hold you in contempt. You allow this man to say nigger a dozen times before you, the judge, says, I'm going to hold you in contempt if you say it again. Why didn't you tell him that you're going to hold him in contempt when he said it the first time? Language like that, of any derogatory language, should not be allowed in a courtroom, whether the judge is present or not. But the judge was present, and you allowed this man to say the N word a dozen times. In this one-page transcripts, he said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then the judge finally says, okay, if you keep saying it, I'm going to hold you in contempt. When the woman says, I need to step away. So you allow this woman to be badgered in a courtroom in front of you as a judge by another attorney. So it's like, yeah, what is going on in Texas? And this is why you need a Cornell X and Dr. Candace Matthews.
With that hearing aid in your shit, get your old ass out. Run around.
I dare you to say it.
With that hearing aid in your shit, get your old ass out. Run around with your bald head ass, you old spike little face looking bitch. Mr. Nigga right here. Yeah, that's your ass.
So you don't want like saying
You
N-word,
want
right?
like call people niggas.
You gonna
and
call
shit.
it? You gonna
Call
call it
me a
N-word
nigga.
today?
Call
I
me
bet you.
one.
I bet you won't call it in front of a black man like that.
bet you won't call
in
me
fact,
no
let
nigga.
me help you. You call a black woman N-word, call me that. You a coward. I know you won't. Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on, call me.
I dare you to do it. And I swear for God, I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too.
Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on.
Say the N-word in front of me. Say the N-word in front of me. I dare you to say it. Say it. Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on.
Say the N-word and call me that. Say the N-word in front of me. I dare you to say it. I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too. Me too.
I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too.
You a coward. I'll make you taste the ancestors.
I'm not trying to get a copyright. But yeah, he said, I'm going to make you taste the ancestors. And he should. So it's like, what is going on in Texas? It was something else that I wanted to show here. What is it?
I bet you won't call in front of a black man like that.
I bet you won't call
in
me
fact,
no nigga.
let me help you. You call a black woman N-word, call me that.
You gonna call me that?
I dare you to do it. And I swear for God, I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too.
You a coward. Call that black woman the N-word. You a real coward, man. We'll catch you inside. Go right ahead. I guarantee you wouldn't do it in front of me.
Come on. Come on.
I know. In fact, I know you won't. Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on. Go on in there.
And I'll give you a taste of everything for the ancestors. Say it. Say it in front of me. I dare you to say it. See, you talk to black women like that by themselves. You intimidate black women by themselves. But a black man, you gonna open your goddamn mouth. I dare you to say it. I dare you to say it.
So let me share this here. Because now apparently he is held in contempt. Because this is trending on X everywhere. It says Texas lawyer held in contempt for repeated N-word use in custody trial. During a 3-week custody trial in Brazoria County, Phillips objected to evidence by referencing the slur multiple times, which Judge Chad D. Bradshaw called derisive without purpose. Opposing counsel Brenda DeRoney. Okay, so this was an attorney that he was saying the N-word to. A black woman described the remarks as demeaning taunts. Phillips claimed he was quoting her trial language and apologized on the record. The judge issued contempt with a suspended jail term and fine, requiring written apologies by June 30th, while video of activists confronting Phillips in the hallway later drew mixed reactions online. So people online said he used the word as an example of another woman's behavior. He said she used the word way too much. The judge is so retarded he couldn't bear to hear the word even in she uses bad words like this context. So he disciplined the lawyer. This is exactly like when town hall shut down a parent for reading some of the porn books their children are subjected to in school. They literally can't handle the truth. The fact that these two blacks wanted to violently hurt him without knowing the truth reinforces the stereotypes they purport to defy. Also, that's not what rise to the occasion mean. So there are always going to be white people online defending there are always going to be white people online defending their own. Texas attorney was held in contempt. The judge ruled across after leaving a courtroom. And so when white people post stuff, I like to read what they're saying. I agree with the black folk on this one. To me, the N-word is intrinsically qualifies as fighting words. One cannot walk up to a stranger and call his mother a whore and not expect to fight. Same with this word. Cracker is a coward. Blacks might stop using it too. Well, I think no one should use it. And we don't say it with the ER. We say nigga. But at the same time, even saying the word nigga is a negative, right? And we have kind of turned that into something casual. But I think, yes, black people do need to stop saying the N-word. We need to stop saying nigga, stop saying in our everyday language, stop saying in the songs or what have you. But you white people, you don't get to tell a black person what they should and should not do. You don't get to police us. So everyone other than non-black always want to police black people. And that's the problem. Part of that is like you got to mind your business. But me as a black person, yes, we need to stop saying it. But to say that in a courtroom to another lawyer, you kept saying it as that language, because even if it's in the transcripts, just say in or spell it out. You don't have to say the complete word. See, that's the problem. And this is the attorney here. Let's play this.
Oh, here we go. So, Mr.
What you said, or say it. I bet you won't say any word in my face. See, you talk to black women like that by themselves. Mm-hmm. You intimidate black women by themselves. But a black man, you won't open your goddamn mouth. Mm-hmm. I dare you to say it.
Mm-hmm. That hearing aid.
I dare you to say it.
Mm-hmm. With that hearing aid in your ear and shit, get your old ass in there. Run around here with your bald head ass, you old spot liver face looking bitch. But I ain't playing with you.
Sir, would you like to make a comment about what you said or about what happened?
I'm not allowed to make a comment at the present.
So, would you make a statement online or anything like that?
Who are you?
Well, you witnessed what happened?
He said, who are you? And this is what got me. You come out of the courtroom, you had all that smoke, all that energy for that black lawyer. But then when a reporter asks you a question, you see how he turned to a soft, low voice, as if I'm a fragile old man. That's what they do. But I'm pretty sure you didn't have that tone or that energy when you were in that courtroom constantly saying the N-word.
Sir, would you like to make a comment about what you said or about what happened?
I'm not allowed to make a comment at the present.
So, would you make a statement online or anything like that?
Who are you? Well, you witness what happened?
There is a public statement online that is circulating. What I will say is I thank everyone for their support in coming today. My goal has been and always remains protecting my clients' rights and advocating for those rights. I believe that the court should be a place of decency, respect, and integrity, and I am glad that everyone here today believes in those values and are standing in solidarity with those values. Thank you.
Took it upon himself to be a bully, to intimidate a black female in the courtroom. But when a black man got in his face, he cowered up, cowered down, and he could not hear a rat piss on cotton. At the end of the day, this man's a coward, and we're not going to tolerate anyone bullying black females, using the N-word, and think he can intimidate them and frighten them, and those sisters don't have backup. No, we will rise to the occasion and send that bigot a clear, crystal message. Hands off of black females. We're not going to tolerate that.
And then, and one other thing in regards to by us being here in Brazoria County is a majority minority county now. So those times of lynching, those times of racist behavior, especially how so comfortable that he was in that courtroom, is over. We will no longer tolerate it, and we will rise to the occasion, and we will expose it, and we will shut you down.
And this is why I love everything that Dr. Candace Matthews is doing. Everything that Cornell X is doing, Cornell X is doing. I love it. And that's what you have to do. You have to bring pressure on your politicians, lawyers, judges, and anybody who is displaying any type of bigotry or racism. And yes, Black people need to stop saying an N-word too. See, if we don't respect ourselves, if we don't respect our community, if we don't respect our fellow brothers and sisters, nobody else is not going to respect us. And why should they? So it has to start with us. And then two, we need to get into the habit of checking people who disrespect us, our culture, our lineage, our history, everything. Now, these politicians, they could get disrespected all day long. Because I don't care if you white, black, Republican, or Democrat, politicians, they're all liars. They're all cheats. They're all bought and paid for. They are. But I'm talking about us, Americans. I'm talking about human beings, us, we the people. It starts with us. So I love what Dr. Candace Matthews is doing, and I want to interview her. That is on my list of goals this year. She is the person that I want to interview, and I will also love to interview Cornell X as well. So yeah, shout out to them doing the damn thing. What else was I going to talk about? I talked about Chicago. I talked about that. I think that was it. I think it was something else here. Let me see. Just to let y'all know, this is just a FYI. So I have to get back into the habit of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, going live. I'm actually going live Friday. Fridays is going to be a panel of discussion. I'm going to have Miss Consuelo, honey, come on, and maybe another person, which is going to teeter more on pop culture-ish, somewhat. But Wednesdays is really about migrants, and my Wednesday show, when I record a lot of these topics, I chop them up and I put them on my other channel. And I need to get into the habit of doing that. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. You guys, have you seen the video of the mother with her son is autistic, and she put a camera in her son's hair because the teacher was like calling him names and hitting him? Teacher abuses child on hidden camera. Mom hid in hair of nonverbal child.
My son had a camera in his hair, and Mr. R is beating my baby, grabbing him by the neck and beating my child for no reason.
Drop me down. Drop me down, boy. Get over. Get over. Get out of here.
they calling him the N-word as soon as Sarah walks out the classroom. What? He's choking him, and that's why I said cameras need to be in the class. Y'all let this happen to him. I begged y'all. He was pinching him and choking him, calling him a stupid. And y'all let this happen. On the camera in his hair. Whoever it is, I don't know if it's you or Mr. R. Whoever was in that classroom, there's a man's voice I see. I think it's Mr. R. Was calling him and choking him.
I am sorry if that happened.
Y'all let this happen. I told y'all my son's a good boy. I had to put a camera on his hair just to see that my child's being abused in the classroom. Choked and being called. And he's nonverbal. This is my baby. My child. And he will get justice because y'all let this happen. Mr. R needs to get locked up now. It's on the camera. He's calling him and touching him. Your boy, sit down. And my baby didn't even move. Oh, it's on record. Everybody share this because my nonverbal child has been abused and these people been letting it happen. Something told me put a camera. God told me. God told me. He's coming home with scratches on him, on his neck. Well, my sweet baby, you gotta go. This is somebody I'm trusting to take my son to the restroom every day. This is the worst, my little baby, my sweet baby. Oh, I'm just sick to my stomach. This is just the worst ever. And I gotta tell his father this, and his father told me don't send him to the school. Somebody's doing something to our son. And I still sent him now. I just look like even worse. This is Field Elementary. My baby don't deserve this. I know he don't. It hurts my heart even more because my son can't say somebody's hurting me. I don't even want to watch the rest of the video. My son is non-verbal autistic.
If you know a child is being physically assaulted and you do nothing, you're an accomplice just as guilty as the assaulter. You assaulter assistant. Shame on you. Blood is on your hands, so you're guilty of sin. Smiling on the outside, but your soul empty within. If you aid physical assault, you gotta karmically pay. You better watch your back on the judgment day. Ibrahim Masim TikTok is grand fuel for the body. I just spoke this at a university. Want me to speak at yours? DM me. That's why I've never assaulted anybody before and never will. Because if you can't touch them with consent, it ain't real.
That mother did the right thing putting the camera in her child's hair. And I do feel for her because no parent should have to deal with that. And this is her at a press conference.
I want to thank everyone for being here with me, my son's father, James. I appreciate everyone being here. This all started because over the course of months, I was flooded with calls and complaints about my child's behavior. Behavior that was not typical, not normal, and not something as his parents we had ever seen in our sweet child. As his mother, I knew in my heart something was not right. I ordered a camera to be my son's eyes, his ears, his voice. I secretly hid the camera in his hair and sent him off to school on May 13th. And when I said I hid it, this is the camera I hid. So let's be clear. I stand before you not just as a mother, but as my son's voice, Samaj Lee. And standing with me is his father, James Baker. While I will be the only one speaking today, we stand united as parents fighting together for our son.
That's right.
Our son has severe nonverbal autism, meaning he cannot speak. People say they want the facts. What can you ask him if he cannot speak? But I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. We trusted his school to protect him, to care for him, and to treat him with dignity. Instead, he was harmed, silenced, and failed by the very people who were supposed to keep him safe. What I discovered on the camera footage is something no parent should ever have to see or hear. Our child was put in a situation where he was scared, overwhelmed, and powerless. And while this was happening, there was adults in the room who did nothing to stop it. This is unacceptable. So today, we are demanding accountability and change. I'm calling for a full, immediate investigation. Every teacher, every staff member who has access to my son must be interviewed. There needs to be a complete and honest review of what is happening inside these classrooms. We are demanding that the individual actually who assaulted our son be terminated immediately and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And not just him. Any staff member who witnessed this abuse and chose to stay silent must also be terminated. Silence is not a face of abuse, and just to be quiet and keep it going, it's you being complicity. My son has severe nonverbal autism. He cannot speak, but I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. And this cannot stop with my son. We are calling for a Samaj law, a policy that requires cameras in a classroom that serves nonverbal and vulnerable children. Our children deserve protection, transparency, and accountability at all times, not just when something goes wrong. No parent should have to question whether their child is safe at school. No child should suffer in silence because they cannot speak. My son deserves justice, and we will not fight. I will not stop fighting until he gets it, until no other child has to change or has to go through this. I am his voice, his eyes, his ears. He cannot speak, but I will speak for him. Justice for Samaj.
Let me tell you something. Being a parent is the hardest job in the world. And when your child is abused, you do feel helpless as a parent. So even though, like she said, the father was like, no, let's not send him to the school. She had her reasons that she thought she was doing the right thing, because maybe that school has a specialty in dealing with autistic children. So I'm not going to throw any blame on the mother or the father. She's actually doing the right thing, speaking up, speaking out, and demanding justice for her child, and holding that press conference. I know it's a lawsuit going somewhere, and if she doesn't have one, get one started. Demand that man be fired because he laid hands on a child and was verbally abusive, physically and verbally abusive. There should be a lot of policies being passed on that city level. And this is in Louisiana. Jefferson County is in Louisiana, on a city, county, and state level. So you being that Louisiana, listen, y'all just won that case and did a whole bunch of redistricting going on. You Republicans, if you care about Americans, all Americans, then that board of education, y'all need to come in and handle this. This is really a board of education issue, but I'm pretty sure those parents are going to file charges against that teacher, and they should. So I want to play this last clip here of her.
Y'all didn't see the actual footage. In the actual footage, it's in his hair, so you can't see it clearly. But I can see this man. They don't want me to say his name. His name is attitude done changed. That's my son, his glasses.
No, honey, I can't play this video, because let me say this. This is sidebar. You guys, when y'all put these clips up and y'all upload it on your TikTok or your Instagram or X, stop putting the music in there for this extra dramatization. Like, we just want to hear what the people are saying. I can't play this. And because what she's saying is more important than hearing the background music. And she didn't put the background music. The person who uploaded this did it.
Y'all didn't see the actual footage. In the actual, it's some animal that he's hurting him. He's hurting these people, but they hurt my baby. They had me under the impression, but I knew better. And they want me to shut up and not say his fucking name on the note. All I can do is just keep praying and not being upset. But I'm mad as hell. People are saying to me, don't say nothing without the facts. What's the facts? The fact is, that I put a camera on my son because I knew something was wrong. This is me putting the camera in his head. Because people don't believe. How can you put a camera in his head? I did. And did. I'm trying to make sure that it's good, okay? I took it in my hands to put a camera on my child because I have to be his eyes, his ears, everything. And I just paid for the camera. Didn't even know if it was going to work. Didn't even really know if the instructions was going to be accurate enough because as a woman, sometimes I don't know. But I did it anyways.
Yeah. So, I feel for her, but I really do hope her son gets justice, and I think he will. And kudos to the parents, her and the father working together, parenting together. So, guys, even if you were never married, divorced, or partners, you still have to co-parent. It helps the children grow up healthy, more balanced, and it helps both parents. So, I really do hope that they find justice for their son because this is horrible. And I'm not going to say, oh, that's typical of a white person. No, there are a lot of black teachers that abuse children as well. This is not a race issue. But if this was a well-to-do school in an upper class area, this probably wouldn't have went on. See, a lot of people think they could take advantage of poor people or working class people. No, 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 no. As long as we have a voice and we can utilize the justice system, no, justice will prevail. So, yeah. Kudos to her. And it was something else that I wanted to play here. Black women are tired of the Democrat Party. Yeah. Actually, what was it? It was Jeff Bezos. Oh, it was trending. No, it wasn't here. What was it here? No, no, no. Okay, let me go back to here then. Black women are fed up with the Democrat Party. Black women are really the backbone of the Democratic Party. There are a lot of black women in leadership roles in the Democratic Party, whether it's national or locally or in Congress. And majority of the Democrat voters when it comes to Black Americans are Black women, right? But they're voicing their frustration with the Democrats online. It says, I love how my people are speaking up. The View needs to be canceled. The NAACP needs to go. We are tired of the Democrats. You're done. Another Black woman wrote, Democrats been Black folks' enemies for years. They never wanted us to have shit and never will stop being used. Wake the F up. Another one says, the frustration is real. Well, she looks white. Fire is raining down on the Democrat Party. People are waking up and people are fed up. When regular folks from all backgrounds are saying, I'm sick of this, the tide is turning. Democrats are done. And yes, they are done.
Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny. Now somebody's supposed to shoot me now because I want to vote? Why? That was the Democrats back in the days, remember? If any black person wanted to vote for Republican, they got their fucking house burned. They got hanged from trees. Remember that? They had to run from their damn community. You don't remember that? Look at Lake Lanier. Go read up on Lake Lanier. That was the Democrats that tore up that city. That's my family city. Huntsville, Georgia. Oscarville, Georgia. Oh, I remember it, honey. My grandmother told it all, honey. It was the Democrats that didn't want no black people to vote for Republicans, and they came out with the triple Ks to fear us for voting for Republicans. And now you want to sit there on that show, talk about they going to shoot at me if I vote? Who? The Democrat Party? Because you must be talking about them. Because they the only ones that do that shit. The only ones. And Hakeem Jeffrey, shut up. The Democrat Party is done. It's over. Stick a fork in it. You're finished. There will be no more power in your hands. Only one y'all worrying about is non-American people. That's it. And we all woke up already. We all woke up. Y'all bitches sitting there, millionaires, and talking about you depressed, oppressed. How the fuck are you oppressed? Shut up. It's over. I'm sick of you. Always lying. And some of you black folks always fucking listen to this dumb shit instead of doing your own research. They are lying. Ain't nobody gonna shoot you if you vote. If they do, it is gonna be the Democrat Party like they did my family out there in Oscarville, Georgia. And we still ain't get our land back. Shut the hell up. You're finished.
Hakeem Jeffries do need to shut up. He is talking way too much about nonsense.
If LSU is for it, we're against it. If the University of Alabama is for it, we're against it. If Ole Miss is for it, we're against it. If the University of South Carolina is for it, we're against it. If the University of Tennessee is for it, we're against it. And if the SEC schools are for it, we are against it. And we will continue to stand against it because we're standing on the side of liberty and justice for all. And silence in this moment is complicity. If LSU...
Okay, so now they are upset that they lost the gerrymandering case. And now they want schools in racially gerrymandered states. They're calling it racially gerrymandered. They want black athletes to not go to these schools. And I'm actually going to talk about that in another video. But this is why Hakeem Jeffries needs to shut up. But I want to play this from The View because this is what that lady was talking about. What The View constantly, you know, listen, we all know what the View's view is on the Trump administration. It's always about he's a racist, he's this, he's that.
Go ahead. I'll just quickly say, because I think everyone's making great points. I think two things can be true at the same time. I think that the intent can be questioned behind these new Trump policies. There was no acknowledgement of the black maternal mortality crisis because black women die at a much higher rate than any other demographic. Than any other demographic. And he doesn't seem to be, this administration is not concerned about that. I think it's true that he wants Trump babies, which implies he wants American-born white children.
He wants toddler white nationalists.
That may be part of the intent. Go ahead.
Toddler white nationalists? Oh my God. They come up with the craziest names.
Okay. First of all, you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. All right, that's number one. And you know, I like Mark Cuban. I've always liked him, but this is a mistake. And
so she's upset that Mark Cuban is working with Trump with the cheaper prescription drugs. Put it like this, anything that the Trump administration is doing, whether it's good and helping the Americans, all Americans, they're going to find something to hate about it. They're going to make up stuff. They're going to twist it. They're just going to find something to hate about it.
But let's tell you what's going on, because the White House is doing a victory lap right now after yesterday's Republican primaries. Several officials who spoke out against you-know-who, whose policies were knocked out of the running by MAGA-endorsed challengers. Thomas Massie was one of them, and he remained as defiant as you thought he might be in his concession speech. Take a look.
For 14 years, those SOBs in Washington tried to buy my vote. They couldn't buy it. They used a lot of dirty tricks, but we stayed the course. We didn't bend a knee. We ran a clean race.
So are other Republican officials going to be less likely to speak out after these primary results?
Probably. Well, listen, the interesting thing with Massie is the #1 reason he was targeted by the White House was because he was pushing for Epstein accountability.
All right, let's go past that. I ain't want to talk about that one. I ain't want to talk about this and this Kiki problem, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm not playing all that's 6 minutes. I ain't playing all that. The point I'm trying to make here is Black women are fed up with the Democrats. First of all, Black people need to be fed up with the Democrats. So even if you are a Democrat, even if you vote Democrat, even if you live in a predominantly Democrat district, ask yourself this question. What has the Democrat Party, how has the Democrat Party helped Black America, America as a whole, and specifically Black America? Answer this question. How has the Congressional Black Caucus helped Black America? Did they ever? Do they help Black America, Congressional Black Caucus? Because you have the Hispanics, you have the equality, you have all these, you have the Asian, all these different caucuses. Our caucus for Black America is a Congressional Black American Caucus. What has the Black American Caucus, Congressional Black American Caucus done for Black America? How has it helped us? It's just a question. Please put it in the comments below. And I'm curious to read what people are going to say, because my answer is they have not. They have not. So why are we committed to any political party? Yes, I'm a Republican. I may say become a Republican, but even if you don't want to become a Republican, don't be a Democrat. We should not be committed to any political party. Because if you're not committed to a party, trust and believe that that political party is going to beg for your vote. And if they're going to beg for your vote, that means you could give them an agenda and demands, and they will do it. Other than that, Black people just giving their votes away for free, not applying no pressure, not asking for any tangibles, don't even have an agenda. So they take advantage. Don't matter if they're Black or white, they're just taking advantage. I think that's it. I think that was it, because everything else that I have, I'm going to be talking about, me and the judge are going to be talking about tomorrow. Right? We're going to be talking about it tomorrow. So I wonder if I should tell you guys my story that I almost got arrested. I wrote down a couple of notes. And actually the judge was like, no, don't talk about it online. Just leave it alone. So I'm like, should I talk about it or should I not? Should I pre-record it and talk about it later? It's about my dog. And it's about, I'm calling this person a PETA, you know, PETA, the people that are pro animals, a PETA Karen or Ken. A PETA Karen or Ken, right? And so I'm wondering, and actually, I'm actually starting a whole new YouTube channel. It's going to be my dog channel, a channel about, you know, my doggy channel. So I wonder if I should just pre-record this story and upload it on my new YouTube channel that I'm going to be starting this weekend. It's a good story. I wasn't arrested. I didn't get a ticket. But the PETA Karen / Ken called the motherfucking cops saying that I was abusing my dog. Oh, honey. Was I abusing my dog? No. So it's a good story. But I kind of want to roll it out properly. And I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to pre-record it and I'm going to roll it out on my new channel. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to say it now. I'm not going to tell the story. Or maybe I will tell the story. Should I tell the story? I get so indecisive. I should put, okay, if you guys want me to tell the story of me almost being arrested this week, put a 1. If you want me to pre-record it and upload it later, put a 2. Because my original plan was to tell you guys the story when I do this live, and then I was going to edit it out and upload it. And I'm talking about it from the lens of, and this is why I'm calling the person who called the cops a PETA Karen / Ken, because it could have been a man or a woman. And that's because you use Karen. It could be a black Karen. And I'm saying PETA because they call themselves being, you know, the dog police. One. That's because y'all nosy as fuck. Mama says 2. 1, 2, 3. A Manny adore says 1. Yes, Shrew says yes. Dexter says yes. Inner Vision says 2. And it's like, do I feel like it? Well, let me say this. I love my dog. My dog is spoiled. My dog is very spoiled. I adopted my dog 2 years ago from the Cleveland APL. And if you do live in Cuyahoga County, I will advise and suggest go to the Cleveland APL and adopt a dog. Yes. And my dog is a pit bull. He's a mixed Terry pit. He was at that shelter for 9 months. He was the longest dog living at that shelter for 9 months. So he was the longest dog staying at the shelter, staying at the foster place. Because people don't want to adopt pits, right? He reminded me of the first dog I ever had. It's just like he died 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. He had cancer and I had him for like 10 years. And I said, I'm never going to get another dog because you don't get over that dog, that first dog. But I'm out here in Ohio and it's like, you know what? I wanted a dog. I wanted another dog. I wanted to be a doggy mommy again. But I wanted to adopt a dog. And I went to the Cleveland APL, looked at the other dogs, and I was actually going to get this black dog. But then I kept going back to him, my dog, Kingston. And then I was like, all right, I want him. He walked up to me. It was like we just knew we were meant for each other. So he was in there for 9 months, the longest dog in there. He was a surrender dog. He was abused. He was basically neglected by the previous owner. And I think the previous owner left him in the house while he moved out. You know, it probably was a raggedy house with mice and roaches and stuff like that. So he was a surrender dog. Or maybe the person who had him couldn't care for him. So they probably was homeless themselves. I don't know, but he was a surrender dog. He was on medication because he suffered from anxiety and abandonment issues. So when I adopted him, I weaned him off the medication and he's just the love of my life along with my grandkids and kids. But anyway, fast forward to today. And I got all my papers on him, right? Everybody knows him at the vet. Everybody knows him in the neighborhood. Everybody loves him. He's very friendly. So fast forward, honey. Sometimes I take him for a ride. He likes to ride in a car. We go to Starbucks. He knows that it's Starbucks. He knows he get his pup cup. I take him to Petco. When I go to a grocery store, I leave him in a car. I have the windows down. So I go to Whole Foods and I go to other supermarket, Hyman's. Everyone in Whole Foods is familiar with my face. I'm familiar with the people that work there. You know, people that go to Whole Foods, they have their dogs in the car. So this week, I was going to Whole Foods. I'm like, all right, while I'm out running the errands with him, letting him go out in a car to get some air, it was hot Monday. It was in the 80s. And I said, come on, let's go and get our Pup Cup. Let's go to Starbucks. And I got to just run into the supermarket. And I knew I had him. I knew it was hot. It's like I'm just running to the supermarket, no more than 10 minutes. And I where I park at, it's like on our upper deck or whatever. Had the windows down. And somebody was parked in the parking lot where it's a shade, but it's like, whatever. I'm just going in and out, no more than 10 minutes. And I went in, got my little things at the register. You know, he's ringing me up. And I hear someone on the side of me saying, excuse me, miss, very nice. But I wasn't paying it no mind because I wasn't looking to like see the person because they were like a little bit over, but I could just hear something like, well, they must be talking to somebody else. So when I went to turn to push the cart to go, you know, to leave after I was being finished ringing up. Thank you, J-Man. Do you have a picture? I love dogs. Yes, I have a picture, but I'm going to put up the picture when I upload this video. But anyway, so when I went to turn after he rang me up, it was a police officer standing there. And I was like, oh, he had a smile on his face. He was like, hi, is your name Dana Cumberlander? And I was like, yes. So my first reaction was, oh, maybe he recognized me from YouTube, right? Because he was smiling. And I was like, yes. He was like, well, can you come with me for a minute? I was like, sure. And we walk in. And I always comply with officers. I don't give them attitude. It's like, for what? So anyway, as we're walking to the elevator, I'm like, oh, my apologies. That was you saying, excuse me, miss. I heard you, but I thought you probably was talking to somebody else. So my apologies. He was like, no problem. I said, so what's wrong? Because then my second thought was, is something wrong with my father? Because I'm really out here helping my father. He's a senior, you know, stuff like that. And then the third thought was my dog. Did somebody steal my dog? So he was like, no, we'll talk when we get in the elevator or whatever. No urgency. I'm like, okay. Honey, we get in the elevator. He was like, how long can you have your dog in the car? I was like, oh, no more than 10 minutes. So I was just running in, getting some things and running back out. And I have the windows down. He was like, yeah. So when we got out the elevator, he was like, well, we could just stand over here to the side. I was like, okay. And I guess that was his way of checking my temperature to see if I get an attitude. So I was like, okay, we can stand over here, talk. He was like, well, we got a phone call. Somebody called us, you know, I guess they called the police, 911. It was like, yeah, somebody left their dog in a car and the dog is panting with his tongue out. The person who called, the PETA Karen / Ken, who called the cops, lied and said they made it seem like my dog was in distress and he was not. I was like, well, first of all, I don't know who that person was. And that person don't know how long I was in the supermarket. See, they could have pulled up and saw my dog right after I walked in because I was going on more than 10 minutes. The officer already knew how long I was going because he wasn't in a rush. He wasn't in urgency. So I said, so it was an error on their part to assume that my dog was in distress or that I was gone for a long period of time. They just saw the dog in the car and was like, it's too hot. He was like, well, it is hot and your car is going to be 20 degrees hotter. So you can't have the dog in a car for a certain amount of time when it's hot outside. The same if it was a kid, right? I was like, yeah. I said, but it's not a kid. If it was a kid, I would have brought the kid with me into the store. So there's a difference. And his eyes buck wide because he's like, there's no difference between a kid and a dog. Yeah, there is. You could take a dog. You could take a kid with you in the store. You can't take the dog. So my eyes buck wide too, because I'm like, in my head, don't he know a human being is different from a dog? But he says in the state of Ohio, it's a felony to have your dog in a car and it's hot. It's a felony. It's called the Goddard's Law. I was like, really? Because it ain't no felony in New Jersey. You may get a warning or a ticket or a misdemeanor or something, but that's like if it's something major. He was like, yeah, it's a felony out here. So we take stuff like that seriously. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I said, but either way, I wasn't trying to harm my dog. I love my dog or whatever. He was like, no, I know. Again, it was two officers, but he was already upstairs standing over to the side, a black guy. And the officer I was talking to was white. He was polite. He was discreet, right? He wasn't trying to make a scene, even when he came down in the supermarket. So it wasn't a problem, but he was concerned. And I guess he wanted me to know the same way how you can't sit in a car for 10 minutes, a dog can't either. So the biology of it is they overheat quick like we do. And I said, okay. I said, well, maybe that was just my ignorance thinking that he's going to be fine because I'm in and out. It was only 10 minutes. He was like, yeah, I get it because I've done it. Mind you, this is Whole Foods and everybody has their dog in a car while they're in that supermarket. But anyway, but as he's talking in my head, I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch that called the cops? And here's what I want to say. There's a difference between a concerned citizen and a police Karen / Ken. Now, we call people Karens because a whole bunch of white women always want to call the cops on somebody black for some bullshit. And so, remember some years back, we coined the term Karen. White guys, you're a Ken. And then black people could be Karens and Kens too. We say black Karen or black Ken. Well, this time I'm saying PETA Karen / Ken because this person want to act like they're the PETA police, the pet police, PETA. You know, these are people that are pro animals, blah, 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 blah. So in my head, as he's talking, I'm like, who the fuck is the person that called the cops? Because if they were standing there, I would have cussed them out. Who do you think you are to assume that I was abusing my dog? And you call the cops lying, making it seem like he was in distress, and he wasn't. Mind you, pause for a second. As the cop is talking to me outside of the door on the side, I'm parked on the other side. He wasn't in a rush for me to go get my dog out the so-called hot-ass car. That's how I knew the cop knew that she wasn't going that long. Because if y'all concerned about my dog in a hot car, why are you talking to me on the side and not talking to me where my car is at so I could get my dog out the car? Because he knew it wasn't neglect, the police officer. So I want to say concerned citizen and a police Karen are two different things. See, the police Karen and Kens, you sit up here trying or wanting to police people. You want to police people because you want people to behave and do things the way you think it should be done. You want to act like you're law enforcement. You're not law enforcement. Leave that to the police. Because if you were really a concerned citizen, if you were really a concerned doggy or pet person, you would have walked your ass downstairs in Whole Foods, went to the customer service counter and had them get on the microphone, the intercom, and say, hey, somebody with such and such car, your dog is in the car, he seemed distressed or whatever. That's what you would have did. You would have went down to the supermarket to find the person with the car. The police officer did the PETA Karen / Ken's job. So what the police officer did, the bitch that called the cops should have did. So while you calling the cops lying, because people love to call the cops and exaggerate the story. You could exaggerate all you want. Bitch, I didn't get locked up. Bitch, I didn't get a ticket. So, and I guess so as he was talking to me, he was checking my temperature to see if I was going to get an attitude, which I did not. I always comply, and there's no need to get an attitude. So after 5 minutes, I'm like, hey, can we walk to my car so I could get the dog? He was like, oh, yeah. Oh, now he remembers the dog is still in the car this whole time. So something that would only taken me 10 minutes is an extra 7 minutes on top of the 10. And it could have been somebody that was already parked there and saw me park and get out and leave my dog in the car. So when he said that was a felony, I was like, what? He was like, yeah. So no, yes, I am lucky that because a felony, you don't get a ticket. They arrest you right there. And then you got to go talk to the judge, which is fine. But then I would have had my own little personal civil lawsuits. Like, well, whatever. But none of that didn't happen. So basically, the police officers, who were very nice, very professional, they acted with discernment. They acted with logic. So this is not about police. This is not about police profiling or nothing like that. The police were fine. The police wasn't the problem. It was the PETA Karen / Ken bitch. See, all you people that want to call the cops on people, you're not a concerned citizen. You're being an asshole. If you are concerned, you need to go speak to that person. If you were so concerned, why your ass didn't stay there until the police got there? Because if that person would have stayed there when the police was there, and I would have seen that person, or I would have cussed that person out. So I probably would have been arrested for me cussing that person the fuck out. I am not about to harm. I love my dog, honey, and he loves me. He is very spoiled. Now, going forward, when it's hot outside, I may not have him in the car unless we're going to Petco, because I could bring him in Petco or want to wash him, whatever. But I knew I was going to be in and out. And I knew nothing was going to happen to him. But I didn't think that I would have to deal with that. Now, here's the second part to the story. So when the cops left, he was like, all right. So he was like, well, just hurry up, put your bags in the car, and you and your dog could go. First of all, you're not going to tell me that I could go, like, just get up out of here. So I put my bags in the car, but I take my dog out of the car like I always do. So whenever I'm going to the supermarket and I have my dog with me, I buy a bottle of water for him. I take him out the car when I come back to the car, let him go pee, and I give him water, and then we on our way. So when the cops left, it was a Black woman with her daughter, because it's a lot of people that work for Amazon that pick up the groceries. So she was one of those people picking up groceries because she deliver it. So when I took my dog out to let him go pee and give him his water, she waved me and we went over there talking. And I told her my YouTube channel because I was going to talk about it. She was like, somebody called the cops on you because of your dog? I was like, yes. She was like, all these people that have their dogs in a car here? I said, yes, that's what we do, right? She was like, yo, that's messed up. And it's something of Black people, it's like we know what time it is with each other. We know what time it is. And she was like, sometimes I'll leave my daughter in the car while I run downstairs and get the groceries. She was like, I ain't gonna do that no more. I was like, yeah. And, so we was just talking, dog walking around. And then I was on my merry way. But here's the second part to the story. In Ohio, what I experienced in Cuyahoga, however you pronounce it, Cuyahoga County, they don't racially profile, they car profile. My car is not a hoopty, but it's a 2009 Hyundai Sonata. I'm not getting another car. First of all, I'm not buying another car. I don't want a car note. I stopped having a car note over 15 years ago. So, well, a little bit more than that, but a little bit less than that. Maybe over 10, 12 years ago. I'm not trying to get another. I don't want a car note. The most I would do is lease. I don't feel like paying for a lease every month. My car is in tip-top shape. It runs smooth. I just have to do the brakes, transmission, you know, and the tires or whatever. And my car is fine. But the people around here in these suburbs, honey, they drive Teslas because that's what the officer said. Yeah, because if you have a Tesla, you could leave your pets in the car because they have the temperature control. Honey, I'm not getting no Tesla. Them things are expensive. But anyway, people around here drive Teslas. They drive their Porsches, and I'm talking about the seniors and the younger people. They drive Porsches. They drive Mercedes, or it could be a 2024 and up, whatever, Kia, Hyundai, or whatever. So they drive a lot of updated cars around here. And if the police, what they do, if they see that a car like mine is an older car, they will run my plates because that happened. I had a police officer run my plates and pull me over. Now, he ran my plates and it said that my license wasn't updated because, okay, I kept forgetting to renew my registration, and it was 6 months. So he was like, "Did you know your registration has been expired for 6 months?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot." But anyway, and they were nice too. So they just gave me the little ticket, and it was like, "Go ahead." He didn't even ask to see my insurance because I don't have any priors, I don't have any suspensions, I don't have any felonies or nothing. But I asked him when he gave me that ticket for having my expired registration. I said, "Do y'all normally just run people plates?" He was like, "Yes." And I'm like, If my car was a fancy car or 2005 or 2000 or 2025 or 2026 Hyundai, whatever, he wouldn't have ran my plates. So I said that to say the PETA Karen / Ken bitch that called the cops on the dog for my dog. Number one, they saw it was a pit, and pits have a lot of negative stereotypes off the rip. Number two, my car is not a new car. It's not a brand new car. It's not a 2024 or 2026. It's not a fancy car. No. So an older version car with a pit bull in the background, this motherfucker probably thought it was a colored person who neglects pits or probably, fight pits or whatever. Because it's a pit bull, people do stereotype. Because my car is not a brand new car, they stereotype out here. There are some cities in this county that they don't allow you to have pit bulls in your house. You cannot own a pit bull in some cities. So the PETA bitch that called the cops stereotyped my dog and my car and took it upon themselves to police the fact that this person is being neglectful. So thank you to the police officers that were very professional and very polite. I didn't get arrested. I didn't get a ticket. But I say all that to say, you fake ass concerned citizens, mind your motherfucking business. And if you don't want to mind your business, show your face. When you call the cops, stay right there and wait for them to show up. Don't run after you call the cops. Let people see it was you who called the cops. But the reason why they leave after they call the cops, they don't want to be questioned because they lie and exaggerate. Yes, I am a doggy mommy. I love dogs. But make no mistake about it, you don't get to tell me how to raise my damn dog. So that's the difference. If you was a concerned citizen, you would have brought your ass down into Whole Foods and say, "Hey, somebody has a dog in the car, but I don't know how long they've been. They have a black or whatever. And then a person would have went on the goddamn intercom and say, "Hey, can someone go get their dog in their car? Your car is blah, 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 blah." But you ain't do that. You had the police do what your ass should have did. And I say all that to say, mind your fucking business. Mind your business. And if you're going to lie and you're going to exaggerate, then have enough balls to stay there when the cops show up. But that cop knew you were lying, knew you were exaggerating, And the cop knew I was not harming my dog, or it wasn't intentional. So that's my story. Bitch called the cops thinking I was going to get arrested because they know that it's a felony out here called Goddard's law. It's a felony. Now, it's different levels to the felony. But being that it's a felony, you could get arrested on the spot, but I may have gotten a fine or a misdemeanor because it would have fell into the general category. But in New Jersey, where I'm from, they don't have felonies like that. Like, you literally would have to like shoot dogs, or you have a fighting ring, or making dogs fight, which is illegal. But if an officer see you have your dog in a car and the windows are cracked halfway and it's hot outside, they're not going to arrest you. They'll probably give you a ticket at best, or just say, hey, don't do it, or you got to take you can't be in the store too long. I know in Florida, it was a video on YouTube where a woman was arrested because she was in the store for 40 fucking minutes. The dogs opened up the car, gave the dog water, and was waiting for her to come out. It was 40 minutes. That wasn't the case. I literally was no more than 10 minutes, and the police officer seen me at the register coming upstairs. So he knew what time it was. And I'm just like, I said that to say people are fake concerned citizens. They're not really concerned citizens. They just want to police how you live. But you got the right one. You got the right one. I don't give attitude. I look decent when I come outside, because that plays a part too. But they do a lot of car profiling, because where I live at is like a historic district. So when the cops ran my plates, when I got the ticket for having an expired registration, why would you run my plates? I didn't run a stop sign. I wasn't speeding. So what would prompt you to run my plates? And the girl that did my hair yesterday, I was telling her the story. She was like, if you in the city, the actual city of Cleveland, they don't run plates because everyone drives any and everything, hoopties to fancy cars. So they don't car profile you in the city of Cleveland. But the surrounding suburbs, which is where we're at, the police officers do that. So if you are a criminal and you're driving a nice car, you could be a criminal, because they're not going to run your license plates. They're not going to pull you over. They're not going to bother you if you have a nice car. So if you have a suspended license, or if you got a felony somewhere else, but you driving a nice car in these suburbs, don't worry about it. They're not going to run your plates. They're not going to bother you because your car is nice. But if you have an okay car, or a hoopty, or a raggedy car, they're just going to run your plates because they're going to automatically assume something is wrong with you. But guess what? I am not going to put a note in my car saying, hey, I'm going to be right back. My dog is okay. I'm not doing that. I'm not adjusting anything for anybody. Now, will I take a different type of precaution when it's extra hot outside? Yeah, I won't probably bring him with me, but we're still going to go on our Starbucks run. I'm still going to take him to Petco, but I may not take him to the supermarket and leave him in a car if it's real hot, right? However, because I know it's a law, the Goddard's law. But cops out here run plates. But I'm not going to adjust my lifetime. I'm not going to sit up here and get a brand new 2025, 2026, or 2027 car, whether I'm buying it or leasing it. I'm not doing that for nobody's comfort. I'm not. You can run my papers all you want, honey. It's nothing on it. Yes, I live in this neighborhood. Yes. And that's my story. So, in conclusion, fuck you to the PETA Karen / Ken bitch that called the cops. Fuck you. I didn't get a ticket and I didn't get arrested. Next time, walk your ass in the store and tell the person who owns the fucking dog, get your dog. Have enough balls to do that. And that's it. Thank you guys. Says great story. So that's my dog story, honey. And I would look out for the Real Kingston YouTube channel. Honey, I'm gonna put a camera on his back when we go for our walk so y'all could like see the walks and stuff like that. Yes. My baby is spoiled. He is spoiled. So I'm never gonna harm my baby, my pet, honey. No. No, he been through so much. I rescued him. He was in that damn adoption place for 9 months, but they took care of him. That's why I said it. Listen, if you guys are in the Cleveland area or Cuyahoga County, go to the Cleveland APL and adopt a dog. Cleveland APL and adopt a dog. Yeah. All right. That's it. Thank you guys. Oh, I did 2 hours. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, how about mind your motherfucking business? Mind your business. So not only fuck you to the PETA Karen / Ken bitch, but mind your motherfucking business. And shout out to the police officers. Not only did they look cute, I noticed that the police officers out here, they in tip-top shape. They look good, but they were very polite. They approach you with logic. They talk to you. They were very polite. I cannot complain about the police officers. So shout out to the police officers. I'm not telling y'all the city that I was in, but shout out to the police officers. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going live on Friday, honey. Yes, I'm going to be consistent with the lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I got a video dropping in about 40 minutes. Check it out. And I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.